What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be messing with the C6 Corvette. It came in with a harmonic balancer issue, super wobbly. I'll add in a clip of it right here. But pretty much we're going to do a balancer swap for him. This is a super clean C6. Pretty much stock, except I think for maybe exhaust and then coilovers and whatnot. So we are gonna get him right. Yeah, this thing's clean, super clean. All right, so we're about 10-15 minutes in. So far I got the intake off, got all the little shrouding for the intake off, got the phantom bolted, zip tied the radiator just a little bit more forward so I can kind of have a little bit more access. Let's see, made sure it was okay with the owner and got all the parts, all the intake stuff right there. Got it on 2 planks so I can have access to get my my jack underneath, because he's got this nice carbon lip that I do not want to mess up. It is, granted, it's a low car, but yeah, I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, so from now we're gonna jack the car up, because I think I got most of the stuff done up top that I need. So we're gonna jack the car up and start working underneath. All right, so that was pretty much an hour exactly. Fans out, intake's out, all the shrouding for the intake is out. I got the upper control arms loose, I got the coilover loose, and same thing with the other side. So my plan is loosen the sway bar and then loosen the whole cradle and have everything come down as one. Obviously I'm going to keep an eye out for this steering shaft, make sure nothing kind of binds up right there. If I gotta disconnect it, I gotta disconnect it, but I don't think anything else really to look for. But yeah, so I only really had an hour to mess with it. I got something to do, but we will be back at this either. I don't know if I'm gonna be at it tonight. Maybe I'll come back tonight. We'll see. But that's it for now. I will pick this back up whenever I pick it back up. I'm gonna clean up and then yeah, we'll get back to it. All right, so original plan was to lower the cradle enough to get access to the harmonic balancer. That worked on my car because I was taking the engine out, so I was suspending it from the valley cover to lift it up while the cradle came down. So I quickly realized that's not going to work, so I had to take the steering rack out, which is tie rod bolts. You have a bolt right here that holds the steering rack, and then a bolt, where is it? Right there. Let's see, right there that holds the steering rack. And then you have a bracket that holds up the ABS module, which gets in the way of the steering rack coming out. So you got to take that out. And then on the steering rack itself, you got these 2 lines on the actual steering rack, a sensor, and then obviously the other tie rod or steering bolt. So yeah, take the steering rack out to make it a lot more easy, and then you just lower the cradle from front 2 bolts. I just lowered the back bolts a little bit, left the bolt in, lower the cradle, fish it all the way, oh no, push it that way with the cradle lowered. I got it, I fished it under this stud and then pulled it out this way to get it to make room. Then set up my balancer puller, set that thing up, and then obviously you got to take off, loosen the tensioner for the AC belt and then the tensioner for the serpentine, and then boom, here we go, there she is. So got this balancer out, The guy is bringing me a new balancer right now, along with a crank seal, and I'm gonna get that in and get this puppy back on the road. So let's see. Maybe I can show you a little from the top as well. And then I also zip tied the ABS module up just a little bit. Nothing's hurting these coolant lines. It's just holding it up a little bit. Let's see. You also have these two bolts holding up the bracket for the ABS module. And then you also have a nut right there. And then a nut, I can't really see it, focus. A nut right there that holds it in. And then that's pretty much it. This is the puller I have. I just took this dowel, stuck it on the end, put the teeth on the crankshaft or the harmonic balancer, and then just as you tighten it, it pushes off the crank to take the balancer off. So yeah, that's it. So let's see, I'm trying to think what I could do while I'm waiting for him. Made a mess, power steering fluid, of course. But I think I'm just gonna wait for him to pull up, and yeah, I will get back to it when I am installing the crankshaft or the harmonic balancer. All right, we had a little intermission. I was waiting for this tool to show up. Couldn't find mine, so I had to buy another one off Amazon. So got the flywheel locked, and I just got the crank seal out, which is right there. Gonna put the new one in, and then gonna possibly try and start putting the balancer on. You got a good water pump leak right there, but yeah, we're gonna keep rolling. And I was waiting for this tool. I need to get this tool and the flywheel lock tool, which I had both of, but I do not know where they went. So I'll put the crank seal on and then go from there. Here is the old crank seal, and here is the new one. All right, new seal is in. Just pressed it in with my hands, and then you can either use a big socket that fits all the way around to tap it in, or just lightly kind of tap each side in until it's all flush around. So this feels good, looks good, so there we go. Gonna try and move on to the balancer next. So this is what I use to seat the balancer. Let's see. So thread this in all the way till it reaches the back of the crankshaft, and then just start tightening this with a wrench, or sorry, a socket. I think this is a, can't even see, what is this? I want to say it's a 30, okay, this is a 33 millimeter socket. But yeah, when I did my car, pretty sure I set it with my half-inch impact and it worked out, but this is not my car and I want to take, do good work and not break anything, so I seat it with this as much as till this maxes out, and then you can use an OEM bolt to seat it the rest of the way. But let's see, get in here. There she is, right there. I'm gonna call it for today. Tomorrow I'm gonna come back and torque that bolt, get the steering rack back in, and then start hooking up all the suspension components, and then obviously the intake as well. So hopefully I can get that done tomorrow. If not, it will be done the next day, so we will tune back in tomorrow. Oh, and I don't know if I showed the crank seal. I think I got a video of it. I'll throw that video in there. But yeah, got the crank seal. Here's the old crank seal right there. So yeah, we'll pick this back up tomorrow. One thing I did not record that is in the instructions for the ATI balancer is if you are not pinning your crank, you need to fill the keyway with RTV high temperature silicone. So that is something I did that I did not record, but it has that in the instructions, so oil doesn't leak. I don't think oil would leak based on the crank seal and how that's set up, but if the instructions say to do it, I'm going to do it. So that is something I did that I did not record, but we do have high temperature silicone in there. So back to it. All right, so here's the bolt. We lubed both sides of the washer, and then we lubed the threads as well. And here we go. We're gonna set this bolt in and get it torqued to I believe 235 foot-pounds. So here we go. We went a little bit over, but I think that's okay. Balancer is in and torqued to, well, I guess 241 now, but so that's good to go. I think I might throw the belts, the AC belt and the accessory serpentine belt back on, and then probably gonna throw the steering rack back in and then make my way onto the suspension. So got a lot to do, so let me get back.